Yo, what's up, guys? And by now, I'm sure you guys are like, oh my god, where have you been? It's been a month. You've posted a few streams here and there in the last week or two or whatnot, but you're supposed to be more consistent this time of year. You haven't been posting, and what is going on with you? Are you quitting YouTube or whatnot? You're absolutely right in every single one of those points that you guys are making. I am supposed to be a lot more consistent, but I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little bit without being too much into detail, because I'm not really the kind of person to put their personal life all on YouTube or whatnot. And if I were to do that, it would simply be because I would not be able to do YouTube anymore. But despite that, I've got a contingency plan, and the channel will always be running, whether that means with or without me. So just to kind of let you guys in on that in case something were to happen and I couldn't do YouTube anymore for whatever reason. And you know, one more thing before I get started on the nitty gritty of what I just talked about. It really hit me hard these last few days specifically, that if I can't post a video on YouTube, if I don't post a video for like a long time, it really bugs me. And I don't make a cent off of YouTube. I've never made any sort of income off of YouTube to this day. I have had a couple videos that were in the thousands of views, that's for sure, tens of thousands on a couple of them, but I've never made a cent from it. But I still absolutely love it. It's a hobby, and if I don't post anything for a while, regardless of what happens in my life, it gets to me. So that's when it hit me here and there. It's like, you know, YouTube really is a part of my life, and it really is a privilege to be able to get on here and do YouTube. As a matter of fact, it is a privilege to be able to get up and to be able to use the bathroom on your own, or to feed yourself without any assistance or any kind of that stuff. And that's kind of a hint of what's happened. Not necessarily to me, but somebody really, really close to me. And you know, when all that gets to, when you can't do basic things anymore, or when you see somebody they can't do basic things anymore, it really basically gives you a newfound appreciation and a new vision of everything in life, a new perspective, so to speak. So basically, long story short, some shit happened, and it was very personal, and luckily and thankfully it wasn't as big as Dad dying last year. Because for those of you guys that don't know, I lost my dad last year, and it was an absolute tragedy. And the thing is, thankfully that didn't happen again this year with another family member, and it's just that some other shit happened, and it basically has been keeping me out of the YouTube game for the last 4 weeks, because there's been a lot of ups and downs and in-betweens and a few scares here and there. But luckily, as of right now, as I'm making this commentary, which is literally like an hour or two before it goes up, everything seems like it's going to be okay, and you know, we're slowly but surely, as of right now, getting out of the woods. But if anything about last year, about Dad dying, taught me, is that you can't really predict anything in life, no matter what. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in a video once before, but you really can't predict anything. So I think it's also very important to, you know, just to remember not to take anything for granted, whether it's something like YouTube or playing video games, or just being able to get up in the morning and to be able to to use the bathroom on your own, and just to perform basic, simple tasks on your own. Because if something ever happens to somebody, or to even one of you guys that might have some sort of experience in this, to where you can't even do that, it absolutely sucks, and it just opens your eyes to everything in life. So yeah, I've been gone for the last 4 weeks because I've been dealing with some ups and downs and stuff, and I managed to stream a couple times. You know, it was a way also for me to kind of just get my mind off of the absolute shit that's been going on. So it did work, because I did get a few streams in or whatnot. So, and also there was a possibility, not necessarily because of that, it hasn't gotten that bad yet, but if that were to happen, like I said, I've got a contingency plan, and this channel will go on with or without me. But the thing is, also, there was a scare that I might not even be able to make videos anymore, because my system is really old and weak, and all of a sudden it just didn't work anymore. But well, it just turns out that I needed to go back to the slightly older version of the Elgato. And by the way, I've also upgraded to the HD60, because I thought that my other Elgato was just old and I needed to replace it, which I did, but I was actually planning on getting the HD60 as it was anyway, so it's like, hey, why not? You know, it's something that I'm not ashamed of at all. Plus, you'll be getting 1080p video from me at 60 frames per second now instead of just 720. So for those of you that want to see everything in 1080, well, there you go. But luckily, thanks to a friend of mine that also works in computers and knows a lot about this, sometimes it's just the updates. You know, the Elgatos update by themselves frequently, and sometimes the different updates and the things they add in will slow your system down. It'll make your recordings and your streams look iffy, or sometimes you may not even record right because of it, because, you know, if your system is a little old, that's what'll happen. But luckily, all I had to do was just go back to a slightly older version of the software, and voila, I'm back to making videos again, which absolutely makes me happy. And again, it once again opened my eyes just to how much of a privilege YouTube is. One of it was because of one reason was because of a real life thing that happened, and another reason was because, well, I happened to realize that, well, you know, it was just a software thing, so go figure. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that I'm back and things will be happening on a consistent basis now, as long as nothing happens or there's not another scare or anything like that, because as you guys know, nothing is more important than the people closest to you and what happens in real life. You know, YouTube is great and everything, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate it, even though there's a lot of things that are going right now that are absolutely shady, or it's just it still is a privilege just to be getting on and recording footage and posting it and making commentaries on YouTube, whether you make money out of this or not. Obviously, for people that make money out of this, it's even more important to them because it's their livelihood, but I'm not at a point where I have to worry about that. But hey, if that were to ever happen, that'd be cool. But I just don't, you know, I don't really care about that as of right now. And you know, it's just really good to be able to get on and to record at least quality footage again instead of having choppy footage. And I know I'm not the best YouTuber in the world. I know that I know there's other people out there that have footage and gameplays that are better than mine, and content that is even better than mine, and do the exact same thing that I do. But I absolutely love doing it, and the thing is, I love to continue to keep doing it, and I'm just happy to be able to do it. Simple as that. So it's really good to get on here and to be able to do that again. So yeah, and by the way, one other thing is for those of you guys that are playing on Xbox One, this is Xbox One Black Ops 2, by the way, and the reason why I'm playing on Xbox One as opposed to the 360, which the connection is better on the 360, at least with my experience, and from what I've seen on YouTube from other people's experiences as well. One other thing is that if you are having trouble finding a match, basically what you want to do is you want to delete all the DLC except for Nuketown, obviously. Delete the DLC maps and you will have a much better time connection-wise, as well as the DLC maps. And the same thing applies to the 360 as well. But for some reason on Xbox One, all the DLCs for backwards compatibility in this game is available for free. And I only had like 1 or 2 DLCs. I didn't have them all. So just uninstall that, and you should be good to go without nearly as much of a problem. So, and by the way, yes, I will be getting Call of Duty World War II. I have kind of shifted my stance on it. Originally, I was going to skip it. I've made a video on it, but I've decided to get it because when I'm looking at the game, and if I say to myself, if I like it more than I hate it, then it's worth at least trying out. But I will at the same time remember the past from Infinite Warfare, and I will not be getting the game digitally. Instead, what's going to happen is I'm going to go to the midnight release, or if I don't want to go to the midnight release for whatever reason, I can just go to Walmart and stop and pick it up. But I've already pre-ordered it, so I'm going to go to the midnight release and I'm going to pick up the hard copy of the game. So in case I hate it that much, I can always trade it in for some credit. There you go. So yeah, I will be playing Call of Duty World War II, and I've been watching more and more footage now. Granted, with all the supply drops and stuff like that are set, or in the shady matchmaking system of the patent that's been talked about all over YouTube, I mean, it is what it is. But in terms of the basic gameplay, if it's bearable, and if it's at least better than it is, if it's better than it is worse, then I'll play it and I'll give it a shot. And if I hate it, hey, I'll have a hard copy and I'll be able to trade it in. But that's all I got for this one, guys. For those of you guys that have stuck around, which according to my subscriber numbers, you definitely have, thank you very much for sticking around. There will be more streams. My most recent stream was a little bit foggy is the best way to put it, but I'm pretty sure I know what to do about that, and I will be changing that up. So the next time you guys will see a stream, it'll look much better than the most recent one that I did. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And a big shout out to Six Shot. She has been the biggest supporter, not only of the channel, but even in life here and there. You know. So thank you very much for the support, and she comes to every single one of my streams, so she makes streaming a lot more bearable, because the only reason you want to stream is for the interaction, so that is also great. So but yeah, guys, that's all I got for this one. Thank you for sticking around with me, and it's good to be back. And as always, if you liked this video, let me know, and if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better, and I'll catch you guys very soon on the next one.